I'm glad you're here. Now let's kill the old self and make you capable of becoming the person you want to become. The ideal self. But what does it actually mean to kill the old self? It means to cast a light on the person you no longer want to be. And why are you behaving in this way from the first place? It simply is because currently it hurts more to make the change than staying where you are. But all of this starts with self-awareness, because currently you're probably not just recognizing that you are sabotaging, that you are controlled by the ego that is there to protect you and rationalize this doubting, this self-pity into logical thoughts. It's actually just fear, but your ego makes or forms it in a way that's like it's the external, that is something in the external world that forces you to not change, or some circumstances need to change before you change. But everything starts internally. And as I said, becoming self-aware makes you a bit disgusted about your current self or your old self. And this also makes you capable of choosing not to act the way you don't want to act. You're seeing this because you are ready to change. You're ready to kill the old self. So let's do this together. You're simply gonna start with writing down everything you don't like about yourself. This is not gonna be easy. This is not gonna be fun in any way. But it is very powerful. Because, as I said, it casts a light on the person you're no longer gonna be. And by doing this, you later need to connect the dots on why you are like you are. And this is actually not necessary, but it makes you more forgiving. It makes you more capable of forgiving yourself. Because probably you and I have blamed things on ourselves that is actually not our fault. And there's a lot of things that is not your fault. But it is your responsibility to make the change needed in order for you to become the person that is capable of achieving the things you want in this materialized world, in this 3D world. When you've connected the dots, you got a sense on why you are like you are. You later need to define the person you want to become. And you do this by writing it down in verbs. You define how this person acts, behaves, and reacts in like every possible scenario or situation. Later on, you read this every single day. I said this before. You read this every single day, and this makes you capable of identifying this gap of who you are currently and who you want to become. As I said earlier, self-awareness is the first step, simply because you need to identify when you're not behaving in this way. Because why would you act in this way that you don't want to act? It simply is because you're not aware. Now, but when you are aware and you catch yourself, you're catching the ego trying to rationalize this doubting, this self-pity, this self-disbelief into something logical. As me, for an example, I've been sabotaging for 4 years in my business journey. I've been pivoting direction so much, it's unreal. But I've always blamed the external factors, like that I'm being smart, that I'm being strategic. This is not the right niche because it's saturated. This business model won't work because some person on YouTube told me that it ain't working, or whatever. You understand how I rationalize or turn these doubting into logical thoughts. You catch yourself when you are self-aware. And the hardest part with this is just not simply acting in the opposite way. You don't let your old self rule anymore. You become disgusted by how you've been acting before. And now you just simply act the way that this person you've written down does. This ain't gonna be easy. This ain't fun, as I told you. But please, make the necessary actions now and live the rest of your life like the person you want to become, or like this person that's striving, that's making progress. There's people that live numb for their entire life, not brave enough to even glance at this person that they actually don't like. So please don't be this person. Make the action necessary, and please let me know on how this transformation of yours is going. I'd love to hear it.